Hey there, and we are live. And hopefully this should be a lot of fun. So what I'm doing today, I should have turned on my computer along with this, is we are doing the limited edition Arrow stuff. As you guys know, the sale is still on right now for the Arrow video. And I gotta be honest, it's probably the best sale that I've seen them do in a long, long time. The only one that comes close to this, Hey B-Movie Archives, was probably the one they did when they had all the limited edition stuff that we thought was sold out when I was able to get the thing. So, as you guys know, I got a couple of things from the sale. I was looking at other stuff, but I'm trying to like curb my spending and stuff. Not easy, but so let's put in my secret super duper password here, and apparently I don't know it. But there we go. There's the Arrow sale right there. But what we're going to do today is I have my limited editions up here. So I did my box sets, and I had quite a few. So I wanted to break it up and not with the box sets. So if you watched my previous box set video, we're not going to cross over there. So you're not going to see the stuff in that video that you saw, that you'll see in this video. So I'm going to try not to rip my chair. And has anybody bought anything else from the sale so far? I've noticed that things have been coming in and out, and it's been kind of fluctuating on exactly what's been available. I know almost everybody has picked up the American Horror Project Volume 2. That one actually went in after I placed my order. That was one of the few. They did like 3 or 4 that weren't available till after my order was placed. So I didn't get that one. But you guys watch my last video if you, well, more than likely you have. I hope you have. If you wanted to see the box sets that I picked up and the box sets in my collection. So without further ado, let's go. We'll start here. I'm not quite sure. We'll start with the regular stuff first. We'll work our way into the other limited edition stuff. The slipcover stuff, the other type stuff. And we'll talk about the sale too. I'll give you some hints on what I think are some to pick up during the sale. Some that are on my wish list for future endeavors. So this one, I wasn't sure if it was limited or not. I think it is. I'm not quite sure. So, but I brought it up anyway because I didn't want to be like somebody say, "Hey, do you have this one?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got that one." I didn't know it was limited. So. Evil Ed, Gone with the Tongue of Fire, Suspicious Death of a Minor, Great Martino stuff, and Horror Express. Hey there, Horror Express is one that I really wanted to pick up. That's one, I think Horror Express is one that's from everybody's childhood. It's one of those that, for some reason, I'm guessing rights issues, was an easy one to put on TV. So a lot of people, no matter if they were like my kid's age or like my age, saw Horror Express growing up. So you always had that that late night when you first found it, and you got to see like Cushing and Lee, and you got to see like Telly Savalas and the creepy looking creature with the eyes and the monk and all that stuff. So that is an awesome one. So first up is Branded to Kill. So I think this one is limited. You guys can let me know. This one and Massacre Gun too, I think. Massacre Gun was another one. This was a really fun one. It's one of the Suzaki ones. It's the only Suzaki one I got, actually. What's really neat about this one, and the reason I picked this one up when I did, hey, Stack Monkey, you had a comment. It was kind of, maybe it got deleted or something, but hey, Ghostbusters, man. But when I went to reply to it, I couldn't find it on the thing. I was looking for it all over the place, too. So this one has like a second film. It's got like 2 versions of the same film. So it's got the 1967 Hitman film, which is super fun and crazy. Branded to Kill. It also has Trapped in Lust, which is a Roman porno reimagining of, oh, I know who you are. But I usually say that the Batman part for the end. And Roman porno does not mean porno. It's just the title. But again, fantastic little film. Don't really have a lot to say about that one, so we'll go through that one fast. Speaking of something that somebody just mentioned, Evil Ed. Yeah, you were asking about Arrow Videos. Yeah, the UK and the US versions, as far as I know, are exactly the same. Uh, you'll usually get like a kind of course, this is usually missing from the US version, and a little just the A, B, and C in the back of it. There's no censorship in the UK versions that aren't in the US versions, as far as I know. The only company I can think of that does that, and it's the only reason that you see like, and not really censorship, like things that are taken out in the UK, is basically because of the fact that, like say Shameless, for instance, something that didn't pass over the censorship board, but they never like do one in the UK and US like Arrow and like make it different. So this is Evil Ed. This is kind of a comedic gore fest type of film. One of those, Lola's Basement actually, I think, is on the documentary, on the long form documentary on Evil Ed in the limited edition. That's what I'm here for, because this is I don't know if the limited is still around now. So basically, what it is there were two cuts of this film. So basically, there's a 99-minute like special edition cut of the film. There is the regular cut. There's two cuts of the documentary too. I think there's like a longer edition of it as well. And the third disc of this has the original cut of Evil Ed. So if you're a fan of the film, you get like, I love the super. That kind of reminds me of House. You know what I mean? I got to pick the House movies too one of these days. Those are really fun. Oh, no, I did not know that. I'm actually a huge fan of John Wesley Shipp from Flash. Hey, Andy. I grew up watching The Flash. I was in college at the time that it came on, and everybody in my college, basically almost everybody, would go and we'd go to the commons room where they'd had the big 32-inch TV at, and we'd all sit around and we watched The Flash, and Dark Shadows, when Dark Shadows songs, it was the same year, and then we'd go to the bar, and I would come home dancing because I couldn't walk because I was drunk. John Pertwee is an excellent Doctor Who, one of the best. Next up is Hell Comes to Frogtown. This one is actually available in a non-limited edition now. My better half actually got this one for me for my birthday because at the time, oh, I know. Well, at least you got to do stuff in the new series. At the time, this thing was super expensive. Like, she paid a bit of money for this one here. Now, this one has the booklet. So I'm guessing this is probably what's missing from the non-limited edition one. The original had this like little booklet here. This one and Hellgate were done at the same time, and they both had like really limited edition runs. But it's kind of cool to have it. You know, I like it. There's back when Colin Waddle worked with Arrow Video, we know that's not something that goes on anymore. But again, I love Hell Comes to Frogtown. I wish they would put out some of the other Hell Comes to Frogtown films, because there are sequels to this, and I have not yet seen them. You notice I'm leaving the really limited edition ones for later, so if people like straggle off, you miss out. So next up are the Nikatsu Diamond Guys. They only put out two Vons of this so far. I'm not quite sure how well they did, so I'm not quite sure if there's any more coming out or not. But I did like them. I actually really like these sets. So the first one has Voice Without Shadow, Red Pier, and the Rambling Guitarist, right? Yeah, the Rambling Guitarist. So really cool stuff. Your Vice's Locker Room, No Loud Keys, one of my favorites. JD's Revenge, Hard Hand, Tearing the Texas Town, Looking Along Good Friday, and I think I appreciate that, Batman. I would say the rough voice left you. So this is the this is done here on a 3-disc set. So each one of these gets their own, even though it looks like just a regular case, they each get their own discs. And there's some neat features on these. They're like limited to 3,000 each. So I'm not quite sure if either one of these are out of print yet or not. I think the second one at least is available. And as you can see here, we got Tokyo Mighty Guy, Danger Pier. What's the third one again? Murder Incorporated, right? Yeah. Unincorporated. There we go. And these are really fun. So if you like the features on these are actually pretty limited, but the ones that are on there are really good. And it's one of the reasons I got the ring set actually. So each of these have video discussions with Japanese cinema expert Jasper Sharp. Talking about basically Hatake, Natana, and Yujiro. I'm going to totally mispronounce his names, by the way. Ishihara, and again he talks about like two other directors on this one here as well. Jasper Sharp does an amazing. If you don't have the Ring set, by the way, it's really good. And on the last disc, some people just picked up the Ring; they didn't pick up the other ones. But on the last disc of the Ring set and Ring Zero, there's this really, really good Jasper Sharp visual essay on J horror, and it goes through all like the goes through the beginnings of J horror to the stage shows and some of the fiction and urban legends and that type of stuff. There's certain people I look for, like Jasper Sharp, Kat Ellinger, Heather Drain. God, there are so many of them that I look for right now. Oh, but I always look for. Yes, it is actually. Malik Vinegar Syndrome is actually putting it out here in North America. So if you haven't got Hell Comes to Frogtown, you can probably wait on it. Hey, Movie Madness. But I'm a big Stranger Things fan. I watched the first season of it with my son. Actually, we binged it. At the time, it was like before it was known what it was. So I hate when this goes dark like this. All right, so we're going to get into the stuff that has slip covers and stuff. Now, some of these aren't so much. A couple of these aren't so much limited editions. I wanted to put in with this as well. The older school Arrow fans are going to remember this, the window boxes. So if you remember the window boxes, I'm going to show some of my window boxes here as well, since a lot of those are out of print right now. And I would like to see them do maybe for some of their limited editions in the future, along with the hard boxes or the slip covers that they do. If they feel they got to give us like a flimsier slipcover, like say like a Bride Reanimator type of thing, as opposed to, well, I'm going to keep banging into this here, as opposed to what they do for the hard cases, then maybe a window box isn't such a bad idea. And if you're not familiar with the window boxes, which one? Which became a big to you? I'm gonna do a few of those as well. So, but before I do that, I left out three really different DVD limited edition sets that were out at the time, and these are from their. Two of them are from the Aerodrome that they did, and I just thought these were really neat and kind of fun to show off. So this is the X Rental box set. I think this one is no longer available. I grabbed this one because I harken back to the video store days, and that's kind of what this is. So this has a little bit of everything in it. As you can see, it has Maniac Cop, which is fantastic. We got like Cheerleaders and Revenge of the Cheerleaders. There's actually a second film in there as well. There is Penitentiary and Penitentiary 2, the DVD editions of these. I upgraded to Vinegar Syndrome. I was really glad I did, actually. And it has McBain on there. So just like going to like a video store, you got your action, you got your horror, you got your sexploitation, you got your blaxploitation, you got all that type of stuff all in one really cool little box set. And I do like the way that these are done. I'm just gonna take them out to let you kind of see. Yep, that's the one. Bruce Campbell in the first one anyway. And here's the cover right here that they used. I really like this kind of old school, like kind of old looking, like postery art type thing. Of course, there is the Cheerleaders. When you open up the Cheerleaders, you see that there's actually two discs. So there's Cheerleaders and Revenge of the Cheerleaders. Bruce Campbell had a part in part 2. Not a big part, but he had a part there. And every one of these has their own booklet as well, which is actually kind of neat. Herschel Gordon Lewis Feast is really good. I recommend Bride. Waterworld is high on my list. I'm one of those people, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a huge fan of Waterworld. Not a lot of people like that film. I'm one of the few, but but it has this kind of Mad Maxian feel to it that I just really enjoy. So next up is the very first Arrow release that I picked up. Actually, with a couple others, but I picked this up. It's the first Arrow box set I ever got. I'll tell you that right now. And this is a DVD one, and this is what got me to go region free, because I went upstairs and I played it on my DVD player, and only one or two of them would play. So I bought a Blu-ray player that actually was region free, that you could hack region free. And I think it was a C-key back then. It was either Seeker or the one that came out before that. There's a couple. And this is the Lucio Fulci, The Gates of Hell trilogy. I'm actually really proud of this set, although I do have all of these Blu-ray now as well. And from Arrow Video, actually. This is a really nice looking set. It has a booklet that is exclusive to this box set that isn't like replicated on any of the other Arrow like Blu-ray releases. This was actually really cheap when I picked it up. This was probably somewhere around like 10 pounds or so. So, you know, 12 Canadian. But I don't know if this one's available anymore. I actually haven't seen this one in a long time. I'll share the cases on the inside here. So this is like the City of the Living Dead. And as you can see, this is the one that has the exclusive booklet on the inside. As always, each of these has amazing artwork. Really? I guess, yeah, it's not available. So, From Beyond, and I'll show the interior art as well. I do like the way they got the art done here. This is art, like most people know from it anyway. That's why I would always leave these on here. And of course, the one that I saw first out of all these three was actually House by the Cemetery. And this is actually what got me into like watching Fulci again as well. So this was actually a pretty instrumental set in a lot of ways. It got me to go region free with my DVDs and Blu-rays. It got me to watch Fulci again, and it did get me into collecting Arrow stuff. I don't have a lot of the Aerodrome stuff, but I got one more here, which is Arrow Films, and I bought this one in Morocco at the Casablanca Mall. And it's a really cool film. And that is the Claude Chabrol collection. This is volume 1. There's actually 2 volumes of this. This has like 8 films on it. From Beyond? Oh, From Beyond's really cool. From Beyond has, it's kind of a H.P. Lovecraft film. And it has, oh God, what's his name? Because it's Yuzna. Oh God, I met him too. It has the same actors. It's got Jeffrey Combs, it has Ken Foree, and of course, the lovely Barbara Crampton in leather. So if you want to see Barbara Crampton in a skimpy leather outfit, watch From Beyond, and even less, actually, come to think of it. I'm guessing not a lot of you guys are into the French cinema, but I do like this guy. He's kind of like the French Hitchcock, they call him, Claude Chabrol. And there's a film on here called La Femme Infidèle. And basically it's about this guy who goes into town one day. He hires this detective, finds out that his wife is cheating on him, and it sets like things into motion. And up to the last second, you're not quite sure whether he's going to get away with it or not. It's really well done. French and Korean movies are your favorites? Definitely check that out. Hey, Cubic Lover, how's it going? We are going through my Arrow box set, like not box sets, we did that last time. My limited editions. Hey, Dave, how's it going? And we're going through the through my window boxes as well. So I don't have a lot of those. We're actually going to talk about the sale. I will tell you what I thought about the stuff that I got because I've had the chance to look at it and watch a bit of it as well. I got to watch The Ring right after, like I told you I was going to do. I watched The Ring right after I finished making my video with you guys, and it was a blast. I also I went to The Ring Zero, and I watched the visual essay that Jasper Sharp did on J-horror. Make sure you check that out. If you've got that, check it out. You're preparing for the Criterion sale. I can't do the Criterion sale this time around. I can't even do like a second run on the Arrow sale. And so if I do a Criterion sale, it's going to be in November, something like that. If your bill was 43 pounds, is that including shipping? Now, did you order it like through, when you do it, are you using your credit card or using like PayPal? Because either way, what'll happen is you'll usually see like what we do. We get like, they'll email you the amount. So if it says like 43 pounds and you do that with shipping that included, and you know what the currency is, and got standard shipping, credit card, depending on like how much you got. I mean, like regular shipping, say if the one or two releases, you're gonna be like 225 for shipping. If you got like four or more releases, you're looking at around 750 for shipping. So anything above that. Oh, I didn't see what you said. I couldn't remember his name. I do apologize. I'll tell you what, let me just silence my phone here so I can actually bring up the speak stuff here and actually see, because I'm missing up some of the stuff that's coming in here. So here we go, and it's probably gonna have like an ad come up first. Oh, David Harbour. You're thinking of David Harbour. No, the guy's name I was trying to remember before is Jeffrey Combs. Zurich Harbour. Oh, the Vinegar Syndrome sale hit me hard. If I'll be honest with you, I love absolutely everything I got from the Vinegar Syndrome sale. I may have held off on a couple things if I knew that it was going to be like this. You're the Criterion guy, the Kubrick lover. I'm going to be looking forward to like your Criterion Hall type thing. I will be watching for that, as everybody should be. Next up, okay, let's do a couple of the window boxes here. These are Aero Academy ones, so Kubrick lover, I'm sure you're going to like these. This is one of my, hey, Video Vault. You're resisting this Aero sale? Oh, how can you do it, man? I'm going to tempt you. You know I got to tempt you, Vinny. Vino just did a video today, actually, which was 2025 MGM movies that he wants to get a Blu-ray release, which I do recommend that you check out, because I've got it queued up in my queue to actually check out later on today. So see, I know this stuff. I keep up, guys. This is Cinema Paradiso. This is a beautiful film. I love this movie. There are actually two versions of the film on here. Cinema Paradiso is definitely a cinephile's type of film. It is gorgeous, and it's very, very. You know what? I'm down with the Dora the Explorer movie. It looks kind of cool, kind of Indiana Jones meets Uncharted for like a kid's demographic. So good for them. I mean, like on all seriousness, like that, I would watch it. Like I grew up, I grew up with my kids. Grew up watching like the Dora the Explorer and like the Diego and all that stuff. They're more into Dora, and I have watched the YouTube Dora, like now that she's older type of thing. Dora at, what's it, Dora at 25 or something? It's really strange, but it's really funny. Okay, so this is Cinema Paradiso. It has two cuts of the film. There's the 124-minute theatrical version of the film on here, but what's really amazing, and oh God, I really want that Waterworld set, is this also has the 174-minute director's cut of Cinema Paradiso. Yes, it's a deep dive, but it's really good. And if you've ever watched this film and you've got into the world that is Cinema Paradiso, I know, isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? Danny Trejo, he's getting around, man. Like, he started late in his career, and good for Danny Trejo. I just wonder how, I don't know how Swiper's going to work, but we'll see. Again, some great stuff in there. There's a 52-minute documentary. There's a 27-minute documentary. There's a bunch of features. This particular version of it's not available anymore, as in like this case, but you can still get this in the plastic case, and I think it actually does have both versions of the film. We'll open up this one because it is. And this is one of my favorites. I'm actually surprised that I have not heard anything from Kubrick Lover, because I kind of think this is his type of film. As you can see, we have both cuts of the film here. And if you're a film lover, this belongs in your collection. Vinny, you got this one? Yeah, you probably got this one. All right, next up we have Spirits of the Dead. So this one is pretty cool. I've got a lot of different directors working on this one. You got like Fellini, Mal, and Vadime all. Or is it Vadim? Which is really cool, actually. Some different French directors. So I'm going to take this now. This is what you call a window box, guys. So you got like, I love this cover here, by the way. But there's so many different covers for these window box releases. You can see there's, now this is an odd cover. I I'm gonna guess this is maybe, guys, maybe you guys know languages and stuff like that better than me. I don't know, Czechoslovakian, German maybe. Um, you look on the inside, and of course there's the huge booklet, because the Aero Academy ones used to have like really big booklets. And then you'd see there's like a Japanese case for this movie. And there is the regular. So if you want to see Edgar Allan Poe, but done through the eyes of Fellini or Vadim or Mal or Louis Mal, then this is the movie for you. Next up is one of my favorite heist type films of all time, and that is Jules Dassin's Rififi. I really enjoy this one here. Rififi is a really fun film. I can actually show you all the 4 covers without even like opening it up there, so you can see all the different covers that we have for Rififi. I do like this one. It has kind of film noir-esque type of look to it, kind of different, kind of unique. And I gotta say, I do really, really like this film. If you have not seen Dassin's Rififi, I do recommend it. It's a great film. Do I recommend Vampire Lesbos? It depends on like what you're into. I mean, like Vampire Lesbos is not for everybody. I actually love the film. Now, if you're down, like if you like a lot of, if you, now that's Jose Larraz. Actually got that box set. If you've ever seen much of Jean Rollins' work, then and you know you kind of you dig that, then you're definitely gonna like Vampire Lesbos, or Vampire Les. Oh, Vampire. No, I'm thinking something. Oh, Vampire Lesbos. Oh, you're talking about the Severin one, the one that came out with Soledad Miranda. Definitely. Yes, I do. Jess Franco, thank you. Yeah, I actually have that one downstairs. The initial edition, and I think it still comes with it, it's got this black slipcover. And when you take it off, and it has the artwork, no writing or anything on it, it looks fantastic. They put out 2 Soledad Miranda, Jess Franco releases at the same time. They put out Vampire Lesbos, and they put out She Killed in Ecstasy. Both films are fantastic. I thought I was going to like She Killed in Ecstasy better because I originally had seen that on Scream Television when it came here in Canada. Scream TV was a channel that came up, that used to be here, in a horror channel that came here in Canada. Unfortunately, it's not around anymore. Now, I like Vampire Lesbos better than I liked Count Dracula, which Jess Franco also made, with Christopher Lee actually, and a lot of like bigger actors. I just felt that there was more of a sense to it. Hey, Indy, welcome. He did Masters of Horror, and if you remember, Indy used to have Exhumed, and that's where you get all the foreign films. That's where you get all the Francos, and that's where you get all the Nashis and the Jean Rollins and the stuff like, and the Coffin Joes. They'd have this thing called Exhumed, and when it was early on, they had horror hosts. They had like Edo van Belkom and people like that. And at the end, they only had one girl that played 3 or 4 different characters. Yes, they are actually. The new Halloween film is coming out next year, and it will have Jamie Lee Curtis. She is coming back for it. Yep, Count Dracula of Christopher Lee was supposed to be like a closer adaptation to the book than had ever been done before. So him and Jess Franco worked on it together. Unfortunately, there were some issues like funding and within the film, to the point where you got Herbert Lom, and you got Van Helsing in it, and basically Van Helsing is on one coast. Yep, next year, and I'm pretty sure it's next year. And Christopher Lee's on another coast. They're actually being filmed. They're never in the same area together. That's why when you watch the film, they'll go from one to the other, because they're really not in the same room or even in the same area. But I did like Vampire Lesbos. I think it stood the test of time. Slashers every 6 months. Yes, but in our day, we got some pretty crappy slashers too. But I'm glad they're taking the time to do it. Oh, Driving Classics. Yeah, I remember Steamy Windshields was on Driving Classics. But my favorite thing, because I liked a lot of those really kind of like cheesy shows, like Strange Paradise would come on in the afternoons. That was like the Canadian version of Dark Shadows. I would love to have a Strange Paradise box set, but it's not available actually, unfortunately. So This is the Brain Damage limited edition. This actually comes with a pin of Elmer, of course, and super super cool one. I really like this film. If you're a fan of the Basket Case films and you haven't yet seen Brain Damage, this is a really fun film. One of the best parts of this is Zachary, the horror host, who actually plays the voice of Elmer in this film. It's weird, it's quirky, and you get like a little cameo from the Basket Case guys here during the subway sequence. Uh, how much is Brain Damage? Now, I don't know if the limited edition is available anymore, but let me just check here, and I will find it for you. I was going to find it for you. Come on. Come on, Safari. There we go. So let's look up Brain Damage. I think it's probably between 15 and 18 pounds. I'll find it for sure. I always remember that these are BOGO sales, so you can actually get another one with it. So yeah, it runs at 18 pounds on the buy one, get one free. So you can get Brain Damage, and I'll check to see what the difference is between this edition and the one that I'm holding in my hand. So what did the limited edition have that the other one didn't have? Probably just the slipcover and the artwork, actually, and the booklet. But so for 18 pounds, well, really, when you think about it, you get another 18-pound one, then you knock it down to 8 pounds. And 8 pounds for an Arrow release is insanely good. I need to win the lotto. Definitely really cool stuff. You'll enjoy it. If you haven't got it, you'll definitely enjoy it. Here's another cool limited edition that's now got a regular edition out there, and that is the Fantastic Blood Rage. I really, really like this film. What I find super freaky about this is, and I'm pretty sure this is the one, because I have to check something here. Because one that I recommend everybody, that everybody should pick up if they don't have it. Yeah, so the guy that made Blood Rage, and Blood Rage it's him and Where You Live, perfect. Blood Rage is this super cool, this one the day, super cheesy, like Thanksgiving horror slasher film. The same guy that made this made Scalpel. It's really hard to believe because they're such polar opposites, such different, such unique films. And if you have not seen Scalpel, that's definitely a high on my recommendations of movies to pick up. Oh, dude, Indy, you got to see Scalpel. It's actually really cool. Now, you got to understand, don't go into Scalpel expecting the insanity that is in Blood Rage. Nobody comes up there and says, that's not it's not cranberry sauce. But Scalpel is a really good release. It's kind of a Southern Gothic, and it moves and paces like a Southern Gothic, but it's a really, really good one, and I highly recommend it. I say you could probably double feature with something like maybe Blind Date from Scorpion, something like that. But maybe you can double feature with Blood Rage and be kind of like an odd pairing of like this director's two very polarly different films. But definitely pick this up. Though if you pick it up now, this is the cover you're going to get. Still, it's a fantastic looking cover. Like the slip might be gone. This is an amazing cover. I do love the Blood Rage like artwork. Just great stuff. Next up is the Mutilator, and again by Sword, by Pick, by Axe, by. Actually, I almost says a Venetian type slip. It does actually. This is a really good one. I had a lot of fun with this film, and I'll tell you why. It's one of those that could basically pass off as just your average low-rent knockoff slasher film. However, I really enjoyed the characters in this film. I did get a bit invested. Like, there's no guessing there's no surprise in the killer in this one here. Oh, I remember. You're Batman. But it's really super cool. This is a really fun film, and that can make the difference in one of these type of films. Basically, is if you like the people. If you're invested in the people, and they're not just faceless tropes, and they're not actually. They actually have. There's actually a bit of heart to this film, and I dig it. No, maybe not for not everybody's not going to feel the same way I did, but me and actually my kids both felt that way. You ordered that from Arrow too. Nice. Next up this is probably one of the limited editions. This one's out of print, and it's one that I'm probably one of the most that I'm most proud of because it's Thief, and I'm a huge James Caan fan. I really like this movie, Michael Mann, and I love everything that Michael Mann does. Pretty much, I can't think of anything in Michael Mann I don't like actually. What's really cool is this was the limited edition, and hey, Elvin, welcome. Hey, Michael. Oh, Rich, how long? The sale is going on, Rich, until July the 7th. So you got a bit of time so if I can win the lotto in the next couple weeks, I'll up my Arrow video lot. This one here was actually this was put up by Criterion as well, but Criterion's copy of this is inferior. I'm not even gonna like mince words. It is, and one of the big reasons is this has the director's cut on here, but it also has the original theatrical cut as well. For full box sets, Michael actually did a video before on full box sets, which you should check out if you haven't already checked it out. Does it show on this? It does show. Let me go up here. I'll tell you. For people that are newer, so once you go to the website here, like this is a scalpel right here. I'm sure you probably can't see it, but there's tabs down below. There's description, details, cast and crew, and extras. And sometimes when you're signed in, some of them will show stills as well, right? So you go to the details, and it'll tell you the production year, the region code, length of time, how many discs, that type of thing. So you're looking for the region code for, like, for instance, Scalpel, for instance, is a region B release. I can just pick on, I'm just going to click on one here. Let's go to Bird Crystal Plumage. This one is running at 15 pounds. If you don't have Bird Crystal Plumage, definitely one to pick up. That's a region B release as well. So certain ones are going to be region B, certain ones are going to be region free. I'll just see if I can find your region free right now. Just like a lot of the box sets are, I find, like some of the box sets, the stuff are. But you just got to check when you're going through. So those are all. We'll go back to the 10th anniversary. The other, and I'll check afterwards. I'll check on more of them. Oh, Arrow does this. They just kill it. Only one edition of this film in the Criterion one, but there's both editions of the film are here, and it does make a difference. Next up is a really, really cool one, and that is Contamination. So what's really neat about this is I was a huge fan of the director that did this one, and I was a huge fan of Contamination. So I was able to get it with the booklet, but by the time I had got it, this was gone out of this slipcover was out of print, and a guy hit me up on YouTube. This was a few years back, and he said, "You know what? I got the slipcover. I don't do slipcovers. It's not a big deal for me. I'm going to send you the Contamination slipcover." It's a really cool, and the cool thing about this, and why I recommend this release, is they have like an hour-long like documentary with Lucio Cozzi, the director of this film. Exactly. And his life story is fascinating. Like he got started in like the fanzines and interviewing different people like from sci-fi and horror. It's really, if you've never like picked this up and you see this on the sale, definitely grab it. It's a great release, and the features are incredible. This release here shows like both A and B regions, so just to let you know on that one. Next up is the classic Deep Red, which I was traveling with my better half on the day that this was announced. We were coming back to, at the time we lived in St. John's, so we're coming back to St. John's. We lost our keys, actually. We're in like movie hunting in this area, and we lost our keys in the parking lot, and we were like panicking because we were looking all over for these keys. So we eventually found it, and I remember sitting in the car afterwards, and we are just like relaxing because we were just glad and happy that we found the keys. And this came like the announced Deep Red, and Deep Red's one of my favorite films. So I literally like pre-ordered this from the Arrow website, the day that they announced it, probably around 20 minutes after it was announced. There is a regular edition of this one as well. Nice. And this one has like a booklet. This has one of the. I'll show you the Deep Red, because this one has the poster. And if you're familiar with the VSIAs, for instance, like the Vinegar Syndrome VSIAs, then you're familiar with the So this has like a really cool poster on it. Deep Red, looking kind of Vertigo-ish right there. Profondo Rosso, of course. And there's the original poster art for you. I'm just glad it didn't have that freaking like dummy on it. It's really cool because what a lot of people don't remember, or I guess they don't pick up on, is that there's this creepy dummy in Deep Red. You know, if you've seen the movie, you know the sequence. And it's like, it freaked me out as a kid. I had nightmares about it. And it's created by the same person that created E.T. Yep, that created E.T. for Steven Spielberg, the extraterrestrial. So there's a connection between Deep Red and E.T. So there's a neat little factoid there. Next up is one that my better half got me, and I super love this one. I love the feel of the slipcover in this one. It's like kind of silky smooth. I can't agree with that. Carlos Rambaldi, thank you. Well, I'm sure I've yet to see Child's Play. I'm gonna go see it. I know like the concept behind it. I'm not down with I wish would have called it something else, because it seems like it's going to be a good movie, but the idea of like being so, it seems very studio. It looks fun, but the basic idea is that it's the same thing behind that Simpsons Trios of Horror episode, where basically, oh look, there's your problem. And somebody switched it to evil mode. Yeah, I have an issue with that being the reasoning instead of the voodoo thing. I like the voodoo thing, but I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Bloodthirsty Trilogy. This is a really good one. I like these films. Vampire Doll is probably the least of the three of them, but that's actually really good too. Lake of Dracula and Evil of Dracula are two fantastic little films. And again, you know, we got like a Kim Newman on the Bloodthirsty Trilogy. I actually expected Jasper Sharp to be on this one as well, because he's kind of getting known for doing the the Japanese stuff. But if you have not checked out the Bloodthirsty Trilogy, I really do recommend it. It's really good, and it's very Hammer-esque. So if you like Hammer, driving. I actually want to go to the drive-in this weekend. The double feature this weekend is Godzilla and Annabelle, the new Annabelle film. So I kind of want to check that out. This is on Shudder. So definitely check it out. I mean, like, this is one, like, if you like it, definitely buy it. It's really nice. See, I haven't seen Dark Phoenix, so I really don't know on that one. That played last weekend, but we didn't have we were kind of working. But check this out. These are great. So if you got Shudder, check it out. But if you like this type of stuff, definitely buy this one. Yo, these are Japanese, yeah. I think, yeah, original Japanese soundtrack. So there you go. Okay, next up is a Arrow Academy edition. Same as mine? Oh, wow, really? That's kind of neat, actually. So, yeah, that's actually what we're going to go see. Well, I'm trying to get her to go see it. She saw the last Annabelle in the theater with me. She actually had fun with it. She brought her iPad. She's not a big horror fan, right? So she brought her iPad just in case she wanted to like go on the iPad. It freaked her out too much. But Annabelle Origins was really good. Nice new Ghostbusters. Is she really? Yeah, so we're doing like kid Ghostbusters and stuff, aren't they? Should be fun. So My Darling Clementine, I'm a huge John Ford fan. This was also put out by by Criterion as well. But just look at this case. Look at this cover, man. Look at this slip. It is awesome. It looks amazing. What's really cool again is this has the other Water Up Tales limited edition exclusive on here. So not only do you get not only do you get My Darling Clementine, but you're going to get the pre-release version of My Darling Clementine on here. There is oh God, what's the Frontier Marshall is on here as well. There's going to be some radio plays, just a lot of really cool, fun stuff on this release right here. I'm not going to belabor the point on the next one because I talk about it all the time. If you don't have it, just get it, just pick it up. And that, of course, is Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. Is it Sam Peckinpah's best film? No, but this particular edition has the greatest Sam Peckinpah documentary you're ever going to see ever come out. Actually, it is. Yeah, we usually, and why not winter? It depends on how they're doing, right? I mean, like our drive-in here will go usually October-ish. It'll go to like October, like sometimes into November. It is that, but you know that's what it's about, right? And it's okay because at the end of the day, I got my Ghostbusters films, and in 2016, like there's some people got their Ghostbusters films, and in 2020, I guess some other people get theirs. September. I think ours went till, I'm pretty sure it went till October last year because we did like a Halloween thing. I'm not sure if it went till like ended in September and then like opened up again in October for Halloween because there was like a particularly good year that year. But I kind of remember us going for Halloween. It wasn't the last year; it was the year before. But last year, I think we ended early because of the stuff that was there. Okay, so I got a few more of these window boxes to show you guys. Trunk or treat. They got upset here, Indy, because there's a thing here. Hey, Dekatana, called Grading Day, and I never heard of Grading Day before I came to here, but apparently it's like after the kids get out of school or something like that, or I don't know, grade to get their grades. So normally you get like the drive-in or some other places do grading days things where they put in like two kids movies or something like that around that time period. And so there's a bunch of people that were like really upset. They're like, "Oh, I can't believe you're not doing grading day this year. You're not doing grading grade, blah 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 blah." And I'll be honest with you, they put in way too many kids movies at the drive-in. You're a bad man. So people got peeved that we're doing an actual adult film like Annabelle, as opposed to doing two kids films. Parents, you're spoiled. I'm just going to say it right now. You're spoiled. Adults want to go to the drive-in too. Come on, throw us a bone. Let us have at least 1 or 2 weekends where we can watch that stuff. Hey, Reality Solution, welcome. This is my first ever Arrow Blu-ray that I picked up. Was House. I think this is the first one. One of the early ones. House by the Cemetery. Or was this a gift? I can't remember. It might have actually. I haven't seen anybody sneak into the drive-in. Basically, the way that they do it here is, there's one road in to the drive-in, and you go in, you pay like $20 on an average day for a carload and plus $10 for like on Tuesdays. I would love to see more. Like I was really excited last year when me and my cousin went to see Friday 13th, the original film. And we went to see, and of course, and he played the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake as well. So I had to sit through that because I paid my money for it. I'm going to watch them both. Friday 13th, by the way, stands up on the drive-in theater really well. Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, Jessica Biel looks nice. How's the sound at the drive-in? Great, actually. You just if it's done the same way as I'm guessing Indy's is the same as mine. You just tune it in. It's no longer the days of like having the box on the side. You tune it in on your radio, and there'll be both an AM and an FM channel, depending on your vehicle, that you can use. And when you tune it in, it's actually really cool. Oh, this one, no, you're thinking the little girl that lives down the lane. This is The House by the Cemetery. Uh, it- and it has some really neat covers. I like this cover here. It has nothing to do with House by the Cemetery, but here you go. I have no idea who that guy is. He's not in the film. I know it looks like David Hess there, doesn't it? It's a very David Hess looking thing. You give us the option, but we always go FM. And the early Arrow releases always had a poster. You'd always get like this thing here. That This is one from the Beyond. You'd always get, this is the smaller looking of the Arrow booklets that they had back in the day. That is Freudenstein, if you've never seen this film. It would always have 4 covers. And I will show you the poster, because this one will be double-sided. So we have The House by the Cemetery right here. And we have the House by the Cemetery right here. And I'm pretty sure I know who that artist is, because he does a lot of the more racier looking artwork for the Arrow releases that were done early on. Just look, if you want to know what I'm talking about, just look at Inferno. Or actually, did I have that? I do have that here, so I'll show you. If you look over here, you can see the other covers for the film, which actually is really cool. I wish they would still do these, or at least give the option of like having like a like some limited edition box, like window box sets. The gave up doing these to focus on like doing some of the bigger sets and stuff like that. I know those were fantastic. Andy Warhol's Dracula and Frankenstein. I've seen them actually. In 21, am I planning to move to Morocco in 21? We're not quite sure right now, and I'll tell you why. We'll plan on traveling back and forth a bit and getting some stuff ready. My better half has had a good job opportunity recently. So barring how things are going there, we may be a little bit longer here, just getting things situated. I may actually be flying over myself a little bit earlier, getting getting things ready, getting the calendar ready, going to the house, that type of thing. Are the Andy Warhol movies in? Do you like Andy Warhol? Dick Town is probably right. They are definitely good, but nasty. You gotta like these. They have some lines which I can't say on here because younger people do watch this sometimes. But there are some lines on there, especially in Flesh from Frankenstein, that are quotable and you will remember. But Andy Warhol, much like some of the John Waters stuff, would kind of hedge his bet toward a little bit more towards the bad taste aspect of the spectrum. So always know that, like when you're going through. All right. You're gonna be wild about his films then. But this is one of the most beautiful early covers they did, and that is the original Bird with Crystal Plumage. This is the first Argento film, and if you listen to the recent Just to This podcast, by the way, then you got to hear about this one right now. Oh yeah, definitely. Even edgier than some of John Waters' territory. So if you listen to the recent Just to This podcast, then Michelle, I've got to get the name right. Engine. I'm horrible with names. Is on it, and she actually talks about Bird with Crystal Plumage, which is her favorite Arrow video. It's her favorite release from Argento, and this is a really, really good film. If you've never seen Bird with Crystal Plumage, I strongly recommend it. I love this cover too. A bit on the discussing, especially ones like Sick and stuff like that. But yeah, they definitely have some more of the discussing ones. Again, there's the 4 covers and the booklet, and you can see like the poster there. So some really cool stuff on here as well with the Birth of Crystal Plumes. If you don't have this one, there's a very much upgraded release of this one out, and I do recommend it. Son of So, you're so lucky. We do not have the Sun out here. Here's the one Blu-ray that I really want to upgrade, but they're out of print with the limited edition, and I only want to get the limited edition of this film if I get it. And that is, do I have all the sets? I wish. I got a few. I mean, if you saw the last video, I did my box sets, and I was going to bring up I should have brought the other one as well, the Phantasm one, which I really like. This is Phenomenon. This is the original release of Phenomenon. It's a window box edition. There was a gorgeous, gorgeous edition that came out, a limited edition. It went out of print really fast, so I never got a chance to get it. It's one of my most wanted. Because when I originally saw Phenomenon, I saw it as, actually, I think you're right, actually, you're good. I saw it under the title of Creepers, and it was a different cut of the film, complete different cut of the film. Yep, a very young Jennifer Connelly, but yeah, it's Jennifer Connelly. And of course, Donald Pleasence. The first thing I ever saw her in was 7 Minutes in Heaven, early Jennifer Connelly film. I was young, and I was so in love with Jennifer. She's gorgeous. I disagree. I mean, like some people will rag on this film, but I'll be honest with you, I consider this one of his better films. Along there, so the way I see it, if you like stuff like Suspiria and you like Deep Red, this film is kind of a combination of both. What's the neat thing to do with this film, and it's a cool drinking game as well, is that Dario Argento, the movies that scared Dario Argento back when he was young, were Disney films. A lot of us what we see when we're young are those early Disney films, like The Evil Witch and Snow White, and the Dragon, Sleeping Beauty, and stuff like that. So those things like kind of terrified him. So when he made films, obviously like Suspiria with witches and stuff in it, he went towards Disney as kind of like an inspiration. So Phenomenon is highly steeped in Disney mythology and lore. There's even this like kind of like firefly type character, because this girl can she's connected with insects. She can contact them. She can speak with them. So basically, there's this firefly character. It's kind of like a Tinkerbell character. I'd have to agree. I think Indy, we kind of have the same. I did. I mean, can I be honest with you? I turned it off. I haven't watched it to the end yet. I was bored. I was a bit bored. Like, it was pretty. But I'll be honest, I'll be completely honest with you. I had about as much fun with Suspiria as I did when I tried to watch Jerry. And if you know what Jerry is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I had the same issues with both of those films. But definitely, phenomenal. One to pick up. If you've like stopped on getting it because you thought, okay, it's not going to be that good of a film, or like people like rag on it. People rag on Opera too, which is an excellent Argento giallo, and probably one of his last great ones. If Stranger Things, just started watching it? Oh, nice. You've got a couple good seasons, especially the third one coming up. Okay, this is the famous cover. This is Inferno. Inferno is another Argento film that I do think gets like underrated. It's not his best film, but this is the one that he works with Bava on. Bava actually does a very memorable portion of this film here. I fell asleep. So I'll go back and I'll watch at the end of it. Three Mothers Trilogy, right, Feligar? This is the. So this is the second in the Three Mothers Trilogy. There's Suspiria and Inferno, and there's the other one, Mother of Tears. Deep Red is so not boring. Deep Red is, well, opinion, is the pinnacle of what giallo could be. It's not my favorite giallo, but it's like for a lot of people, a lot of giallo like enthusiasts enthusiasts or like kind of like they'll consider that like the like the pinnacle of Giallo is Deep Red. It's like Friday 13th Part 4. It takes all the stuff that you've learned from the other Giallos and puts it together to make this like mega Giallo, the super great one. I did not like so Falgar doesn't like Suspiria remake. Maybe I'll like it when I watch it all the way through, but I just haven't got through it yet. It's long and it's doesn't have the feel of Suspiria. It doesn't kind of feel like it. It's different. It's a different take. I'll give them that much. Well, this has some neat different covers. This is the cover that most people know Inferno with their indie. This so Inferno is the one that deals with oh God, what's it? Mother Tenenbaum, right? What's her name in this one? Because there's the three mothers. Hey, Ken. Well, Double Face, kind of Double Face. Although Double Face gets like marketed as a Giallo, I would consider Double Face to be more of a crimi than a Giallo. Yeah, actually, I have some friends that are actually pre-ordering New Coke, like in here. Actually, they're excited to get it. Yeah, I just can't get through it. Like as mentioned, I mentioned some of those classic scenes that you want to see like a new take on or something. It was different. I mean, I'll give them credit for trying something different. It just didn't work for me. Oh no, Double Face is definitely an Argento. Double Face, God, I can't remember who directed that one. It might have been Freedy or someone like that. Ruin Coke. That's actually what it was. But Double Face looks like a Giallo film when you look at it and it was promoted initially as a Giallo film. But if you watch it, then it's more like the German creamy style of film. That's more of like what you're going to get when it comes to that. So Inferno, fantastic one. Check it out. There's a reason Classic Coke became Classic Coke, right? Next up is the super awesome. This is the last one I got, and this is one of those slip covers. Falsified Hand Store, really? I actually didn't know that. One of the last like window boxes I ever got was Red Scorpion. This was one of the last ones to sell out, actually. This is really, really cool. It's a fun film. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. This is directed by the same guy that directed Friday the 13th Part 4 and The Prowler, Joseph Zito. So I'm a Pepsi fan. Pepsi is my thing. I can drink them both, but I like Pepsi both as a beverage, and it's like it's political leanings. This is it is a cool cheesy action flick. It is a lot of fun. Dolph Lundgren is really good in this, and I just like super enjoy this film. So here's the 4 different covers that you'll see for this one if you ever get this one. If you can find a limited edition box. My favorite all time box, the window box, is probably this one right here. Top 3 Bond films. You know, I'm not quite sure right now. I'll get back to you though. I know that On Her Majesty's Secret Service is one of them. Killer of Dolls. I actually don't know if I've ever seen Killer of Dolls, to be honest with you, Ken. I got to look into it. I like the Mondo stuff. I won't be pre-ordering. But it'd be interesting to get. I'm going to put up like a wish list on my page and see if I can find some generous viewers who can send me stuff. That's what I can do. Vamp is really cool. So this is a really fun film. It's got Canadian connection to as well. It's got Chris Makepeace, who was a big Canadian actor, probably most famously known in the day for My Bodyguard with Adam Baldwin. Oh, talk to you later, Mug. You have a great evening there. Really enjoy this film. This is actually a really cool little like short film that the director did before this, and he showed a whole man. You can look at even the best slasher film, and find the same type of holes in there. Yep, that's the Grace Jones one. Grace Jones is gorgeous. Have a great evening there, Mug. In this film, If you find Grace Jones gorgeous, I actually do. Robert Rusler, who plays the friend, actually is really funny, really cool on this one. There's a short film on here called what's it, Dracula Bites the Big Apple, which is really, really fun. I really recommend if you get this release, make sure that you check out Dracula Bites the Big Apple because it's really, really cool. And yeah, I'm of the type, the ilk. I was a really big Grace Jones fan growing up. She's different. She's unique. She's unusual, and she was one of my goddesses. And last but not least is the slip-covered early edition of a one that everybody owns, and that is Ray Harryhausen's Special Effects Titan. I'm a super fan of this of Ray Harryhausen. So I had. Oh, did you really? Did you watch Evil Town, Ken? Oh, Evil Town. Evil Town is quite the film. I'm glad I got it. Package is fantastic. Some of the features, like showing the difference between the showing out the similarities between Evil Town and Evils in the Night. Evils in the Night's a much better film than Evil Town, like in my opinion. Savage Harbor is the better film out of the two. It's a more watchable film out of both of those films. Like, to be honest with you, but Evil Town is one of those that if you're a bad movie aficionado, you kind of got to have, and you got to have it in your collection. If you're an MST3K type of guy, Evil Town is more painful than Troll 2. Definitely, Evil Town is more painful than Troll 2. Think about you definitely Falligar. This is really, really good. Definitely let us know when you do the Harryhausen video. I saw the behind the scenes little teaser trailer that they did for the new James Bond film. I think so actually. I will check that out there in a second. I'm not sure. I don't think it's part of the sale though. That's the thing. But Frank has made much worse films than Savage Harbor. I'm just going to go on record with saying that right now. He's very honest. You got to give him credit. He could pimp it out and say but he's very honest. But yeah, you can't go wrong with Frank Stallone and Chris Mitchum, right? Excellent. But definitely. I mean, the sale is really, really good. Now, when I went and got my stuff from the sale, as you guys know, the two things that I picked up the Ring collection. Did you really? Nice. If it's the Indicator box sets, man, you are in for a treat. They're really, really good. Oh, was I saying? Yeah, so the Bond film, the new Bond film that they're showing, previews of, looks a lot like, it's got a feel of the first Roger Moore one, actually. Well, maybe Mitch was mad at his dad again. I love that song, by the way, that they used for the teaser. I gotta download that song. It's really cool. Buy it on iTunes, because I don't think we have that in our store here. And of course, I'll probably get the James Bond soundtrack when it comes out. For hopefully the record. Doesn't that sound so hipster? Oh, I remember that one. We were looking at that one. The video that yeah, because somebody mentioned the Harryhausen one. We actually looked at it. It had a really nice, a nice collection of films. Love Harryhausen is one of my loves. I missed out on seeing him, and it still bugs me to this day. It still bothers me to this day that I didn't get to see Harryhausen. And I was so close. I was living in the same city. He was at a chapter as I was at. He was promoting a book that he had just done. And he was autographing it. And I couldn't go that day. So, stupid move up by my part. May of 2020. It looks like it, and hopefully, as long as things go well, There have been some issues with the Bond film, some very serious issues so far. The indicator set, I'll bet, is a bit pricey. There's some great stuff on it though. I do think indicator is getting better with their sets as they go along. I did initially have the Norman J. Warren set ordered, but it's coming out in like late July, early August, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford to pick that up then. Although I do have all the other indicator sets, I will hopefully still be able to grab that one in the near future. That's what that's what I'm looking for. Then I'll do like a indicator vinegar syndrome kind of versus video for both of those. I think that should be a bit of fun as well. Oh no, it's definitely Daniel Craig's last one. I will be honest with you. Although I really like Daniel Craig's James Bond, he really has been feeling it for the last couple of films. You can see that like really in Spectre a lot, that he's there and he gives his A game, but he's still going through the motions. I find it. He's a good actor. I think he should go on and do some other stuff, and it's time to recast Bond. It's just too bad that he waited so late that Idris Elba feels that he can't do it now, because I would love to see an Idris Elba as James Bond. When playing, have you got Region Free yet? You know Region Free is your next step, right? Because that would be the reason for sure. My dad recently, hey, Miss Mark Blue. It what I for me, I love the way that the indicator sets are done, because the books that come with the indicator sets are extremely good. Now that being said, some of them go to print, and if they go to print, and you miss out on the book, that's okay, because you're still, like, I think they release them separately afterwards as well. But if you want to get it for a bit less expensive, or if you're worried about like region coding, region locking, or anything like that, then there is the Australian one as well. My dad recommended The Man from Hong Kong, was just recently put out by Umbrella Video. But it had like extra movies on it, extra documentaries. Great one. So although I don't have it, my dad like strongly recommends The Man from Hong Kong, and I will go by my dad on that one. Quantum of Solace is just a bad film. You could have had Sean Connery or Roger Moore at their peak, or Dalton playing James Bond in Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace is just a crappy film. It's badly written. The director is not a good director for that style of film. It really shows through when he's trying to, like, there's a chase sequence at the beginning of the film that overuses the shaky cam. It tries to, the director, I'm not sure the director was for Quantum of Solace, but I know he wasn't like primarily an action director. He's more of a dramatic type of director. He seems to be trying to like go for the Jason Bourne aspect when he's doing his fight sequences and stuff like that. But and his chase scenes, his action scenes. It takes a special type of director to do an action sequence, to do an action scene, to do it well. He's not like Guy Hamilton. He was one of those people. Whoever that was, I think it was Sam Mendes or something like that. Is it Sam Mendes? No, that's a singer, right? Whoever he was, anyway. You're in the minority with that one. This is one time I'm in the majority. That's very rare. But it just didn't. The script isn't good. The cinematography is bad, and the direction is horrible. The person couldn't direct. The person just, and I hope to God he didn't direct any more action films after that. It's really, when you're gonna go in that direction, if you want to take James Bond in a realistic action type style, Bourne-esque style direction, then you really have to know what you're doing behind that camera when it comes to the action genre. And he didn't know how to shoot action. It's really obvious. Really obvious. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Quantum of Solace. Has anybody picked anything else up from the sale? For me, no, it's been the Ring collection. I got the Jose Larraz collection, which is amazing. If you haven't seen either one of those, grab them. If you're just getting into Vinegar Syndrome, there we go. If you're just getting an Arrow Video, one thing I do recommend picking up is looking through their releases, and if it's got a visual essay, if that's, I'll blind buy something with a visual essay. Arrow tends to be the ones that do the visual essays the most when it comes to this type of stuff. There's a ton of like stuff on the Ring collection. If you're into J horror, you definitely have to have the Ring collection in your set. One that's like a strong one for me is and can somebody answer me this question? Did anybody get one thing I will say? Quantum of Solace is one of the best James Bond video games. It's well done. The video game's well done. I don't like the film, but the video game's extremely well done. Which goes to show you, if a different director did it, I might like the film. Did anybody get Waterworld? Not the limited edition one, but the one that came out since, like the new one that came out. Because I'm very curious. It's the 2-disc one, and it has both the original theatrical cut of the film, and it has the Ulysses cut of the film. What it doesn't include for the new one doesn't include the booklet, and it doesn't, or postcards, and it doesn't include the TV cut. But the Ulysses cut is the better cut than the TV cut. The TV cut really is exactly what you think it is. It's going to be like a longer cut with that's actually reality. That's my exact numbering for those films, for the Daniel Craig films. I love Waterworld. I know it's a bomb. It didn't do well. It went over budget. It spent way too much money. We'll never see the actual cut that the director of the film made because basically Kevin Costner had just worked with this director on Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which is a film I actually really like. And me and Sarah Midnight, apparently, we both like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So Kevin Costner got, because this was supposed to be like a Roger Corman type thing, first Waterworld was. So Kevin Costner got the director from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I think it's Kevin Reynolds, if I remember correctly, to come on and do Waterworld. There were issues all the way through. Reynolds asked, like, Spielberg, who'd made Jaws, he said, I'm going to make a movie. It's going to be kind of like Mad Max on water. You got any suggestions? And Spielberg was like, fake it. Don't film on water. It's a nightmare. Reynolds didn't listen to that. We are talking about this. Vinny, did you pick up Waterworld? No, you didn't. You didn't go on the sale. Because they got a new release of Waterworld here. And I missed out on the limited edition. It was in Bay Street Video when I was there. Oh, enjoy your food. Falligar, have a great evening there. So out of everything that's on here, this is one of the most tempting things for me. I'm an Uber fan of Waterworld. When my oldest was a baby, she'd watch like a few movies that she'd sit in front of the TV and watch. I was in the Columbia video club, the VHS club at the time. And we would sit down, and for a while it was Barney live in concert. Remember Barney, the big purple dinosaur? So there was Barney live in concert. It was like a 90 minutes long one. There's all these Barney's things. There was Wizard of Oz, which I was glad because I wasn't watching Barney. And there was Waterworld. And we would sit down, we would watch Waterworld over and over again. I mean, to the point where, this was VHS days, so we'd watch it, rewind it, start it over again. So I got like some really, really like nice kind of like happy memories behind this film. And apparently there's a feature-length documentary on there called Maelstrom, The Odyssey of Waterworld. Feature-length making of, so like a 2-hour-long documentary on the making of Waterworld. I can just imagine how interesting that is because, after all, the best documentaries are the ones on movies that didn't do well, that were a mess behind the scenes. And that's what's so fun about it. Look at Jaws. What's the most interesting thing about, I don't think we do have a Taco, we got Taco Bell. We don't have Taco John's though. There's a Taco Bell in Sydney right next to our to our Walmart there, because it and KFC are kind of joined together. Because I go over there, the chair's so squeaky. And I used to have this. They used to have this like thing where instead of a taco shell, it had like a chicken, like breaded chicken as the shell, which I know sounds really disgusting, but it's actually really delicious. I really like it. Hopefully that'll come back this summer. I need to clog my arteries just a little bit more. But yeah, like the big things for me right now, if I had the bones, like Waterworld would be on my list. Horror Express is another one, would probably be like high up on my list as well. Elvira actually is a pretty good release. Would Ray want to give the latest Halloween? You mean the 2018 one? I really like the 2018 one. It's probably one of the better sequels for the for the Halloween franchise. I like all the Halloween films. I wasn't big on like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I can like kind of watch the first one, but I didn't like part 2 that he did. But the new one, I'll give it a. I'll do like a Count Whiffula here, a Dr. Whiffula. I'm going to give it a peanut butter out of a long-haired Jamie Lee Curtis. I really enjoyed it. I don't have like a rating system yet, which I should really do. Season of the Witch, Part 3, I mean. Because there's also the George Romero film. Yeah, I really like that. I mean, like, it was a really good film that could have been even greater, I think, if they listened more to Nigel Neal. Because Nigel Neal was the guy, of course, did the Quatermass films, and he wrote the initial draft for Season of the Witch. But, you know, which was going to be like the start of an anthology series for Halloween. That did not happen because Michael Myers was in it and people didn't like that. That film wouldn't become popular until much later. It would get more of a cult status like it has now. And it's not a perfect film, but it's a fun film. It's like the gore effects are really cool. You find the worst of all indie? Really? I'm disappointed, man. Like, we have a lot of similar like tastes, so we're gonna disagree somewhere. Top 3 favorite film genres? Oh, that's a simple one. It is slasher, film noir, and giallo. Those are my top 3. Within horror, I guess. Yeah, film noir is not really horror, but you know what I mean. I know my least favorite also is the. I don't know how many of them are done, but like it's more of an artsy, non-linear narrative style type of film. Needless to say, I'm one of the people that hated Jerry, which was a film with Matt Damon and Casey Affleck. Stay away from that film. It's really, really boring. Like, super boring. 1933 King Kong. Fantastic movie. True, I did get to see it theatrically, and it did help, I'll be honest with you. Because I got to see it with a bunch of people, and their reactions were really good, which always helps out. Now, I did see it, like, after that. Jerry, don't see it, Dixon. Jerry is a horrible, horrible film. Basically, it is Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, and they're driving in a car. They don't talk. And they're driving for a long ways. I don't know. Yeah, well, we've seen things and stuff like that, but Jerry doesn't have any excuse, Fanny. Here's the thing. I saw things, and I've seen like movies like and Troll 2 and stuff like that. Those movies were done on low budget. There's reasons for those movies, you know, in the case of things, with not even peanut butter in your sandwich. But Jerry was done by Gus Van Sant with 2 Oscar-nominated, like, winning actors. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for making a film that boring with that much talent when you're taking it from actual true life event. A lot of walking in that film. If you like walking, like people walking and Shouts at the Desert. I am caught up. I really, really like uh, Riverdale. I'm a big fan of the show. The third season is insane. I do like the way it ties together the first and second season, though. I say give it another shot down the road. See it under different circumstances. You might enjoy it more. Just stay away from Jerry and watch Riverdale. Riverdale's fun. Jiggly. Jig, as you know what, Jiggly is watchable. It may not be the best film, but it's watchable. Ishtar, still watchable. Jerry, nope. Are you a jazz fan though, Vinny? Because I'm a jazz fan, and to see La La Land was for me. It was like I love musicals too. Was my favorite film of all time is 1974's Black Christmas by Bob Clark. I'm very nervous but hopefully optimistic about the new one. Should I like better? Honestly, as much of a Twin Peaks fan as I am, and I did enjoy aspects of the new Twin Peaks series, that was pretty genius. I am going to be the only person that'll say this, and a good friend of mine is going to hate me for saying this, but I actually like Riverdale a bit better. Riverdale is kind of fun. See, I didn't find it so bad. I mean, like, it's the most downbeat musical I've ever seen, but, but still, it's not my favorite, but I liked it for what I did. I like I like the see the Chicago. I like the music of. If you like the music of Chicago, there's a couple good songs on it. The first song I like, especially. If you haven't watched Stranger Things, definitely check it out. I mean, the first season specifically is really good. Second season is good. I don't think second season is as good as the first season. What was really neat about when I was watching them is there was when you get to the second season, as you're going through it, there's this kind of like 20-minute kind of like the Talking Dead type show, where they'll talk about like guests on from the show, and talk about it, and after talk about the episode after it's over, which is really good actually. Did Mark Snow work with him on the new Twin Peaks? Vinny, you want to hear something weird? You know what my favorite musical is? And this is nobody else's favorite musical. I got three. Grease 2. Yeah, I really like Grease 2. Phantom of the Paradise. And I'm a big fan of Shock Treatment. So my tastes are way out there. So you can see why I would like certain films. I'm weird. That the simplest way to put it, I'm weird. I have weird tastes. I love Grease 2. Cool Rider. Singing in the Rain is fantastic. I remember being in drama, and we were trying to like do some of the yes, that's what you're saying. We were trying to do some of the dance sequences, which was it's impossible. It was insane. I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's definitely like there. That's number four. My better half, her favorite musical is Rocky Horror Picture Show. My favorite are those three. They're weird, they're quirky, they're different, but I like weird, quirky, and different. I am kind of weird, quirky, and different. The Wicker Man, not quite a musical, but it is a fun film, depending on which version you're watching. They're both fun for different reasons. I did, and I'm a big musical fan. I like, that's like Carrie the musical, Heather's musical. I like those. So those were like ones that I enjoyed. They do, and there's that one great dance sequence with the body double for what's her face, the girl. Because when the Oscar goes to, that was bad. I mean, Yeah. I'm not a big Oscars fan, to be honest with you. I used to like the Oscars a lot. Uh, it's just some of the films now. I can't get into them. So I try to watch them as much as I possibly can. Uh, and if there's a certain demographic that really hates the Oscars for a specific reason, uh, and for that reason alone, I will watch the Oscars. I see. I think the opposite. Uh, that that for me, I'm not a. I don't even want to mention this because uh, well, it's not. I mean, like the old school Hollywood, the way that it was done, it just isn't the same as it. Like the best actor or actress never wins. Uh, and I think Vinny's actually right. There's more spectacle to the older Oscars, but the Oscars has never been a good barometer for. Or use barometer. I'm not sure what word I want to use. It's never been a good way to say which movie's the best. If you look down through the years, look at every Oscar through those years, and look at the movies that came out that year. Very rarely is the best movie that came out uh, on the ever going to be like in the ever going to be in the Oscars. Ever going to win. I guess that's kind of me, reality. I don't think I'd lean towards any certain way. I do lean as far away though from you know who, without me saying the name, as possible. Shaft, I really want to see. A Rocky Man too. Rocky Man looks fun. I mean, it's insane. Um, Look at that guy from like Kingsman is playing Elton John. The kid, man, he can do everything. I have issues. I have certain issues with Jay Leno. Did you ever read the book Late Show? There's Late. I think it's called Late Show. They made a HBO movie out of it too, back in the day. Basically, it was about the fight between Jay Leno and yeah, yeah. He would be by the Ted Nugent would be by the side of the one politician I cannot. It's not. I cannot stand. Um, did I disagree everything 100%? Well, there's like a HBO movie of it too, and basically it talks about like exactly how cutthroat Jay Leno and his agent were. Thanks. I didn't finish, did I? Yeah. When it came to pretty much stealing the yeah, because Kathy Bates plays his agent in that one. You read Jay Leno's book. You got to read The Late Show, and check in the movie too. The movie's actually kind of fun. Because the guy from Matlock plays Jay Leno, and he does a good job of it. Not Andy Griffith. Um, I think I like Leno, but I don't think Leno was funny as Letterman. Like Leno was more of a very white bread humor, I guess. Very maybe I'm not sure if we're going to call it dad humor. He wasn't edgy. Let's just say he wasn't. He wasn't edgy, but he was edgy off the screen. Andy Griffith's Jay Leno. Yes, I would watch that movie. Well, you kind of did though when you think about it, because there is that film, A Face in the Crowd. Remember that? So that's kind of that same thing. Don Knotts and Perfect Letterman. I would buy that movie in a second. Somewhere in some alternate universe, Vinny, that movie's existing right now, and it's super hot, and everybody likes it. Because how can't you, right? I find Jay Leno can be, but overall, I prefer Letterman's. I'm subversive when it comes to humor. Like not me personally. Um, I'm a dad. I got lots of dad jokes. Conan is much in the same line of late night as David Letterman was. Conan does the best when it comes to like that type of humor because Conan like he's been doing it for years. Best political humor, Seth Meyers, hands down. Nobody can beat him. No, actually no. Him and Colbert, they're kind of they're tied. When it comes, if you want political humor, you watch Stephen Colbert or you watch Seth Meyers. Those are really good. If you want like kind of the cool, subversive, old school Letterman style humor, you're watching Conan. That's like that's the guy that's gonna have that kind of feel for you. See, I still like Letterman, and he's got that show on Netflix right now, which I haven't watched the second season. I've watched part of the Kanye West one, which made me roll my eyes a lot. Kanye West drives me up the wall. Sorry, but he can be really annoying. I do like some of his music, but he's still, you know what I mean? Any other, I don't want to offend any Kanye West fans. Uh, Brando didn't like Letterman. Shopping list for the hour. Are you sure you want me to send you shopping list for the hour, Vinny? Do you want me to like, because I can make you spend money. I can do that. Uh, it's one of my superpowers when it comes to these sales. 5 to 10 towers. What type are you looking for? Are you looking for like more like action or horror or sci-fi, that type of thing? One thing I can recommend to save you some money, if you didn't get the Arrow collection that came out, the box set type thing, the collection is out there right now, and you can buy it for £50, right? You can pick up the box set, all that for £50, or you can, because since there's no booklet and all this is an empty box with the 4 movies put in there, you can pick up the 4 House 1, 2, 3, and 4 Blu-rays for £30, which is £20 saving you because do you really need the box for 20 extra pounds? Johnny Carson's the king. He will always be the king when it comes to late night. He did it for so long, and he had that. He did have that subversiveness. See, Letterman took a lot of his humor from Johnny. He idolized him. Conan, Scared Stiff. I don't own it. The Woody Allen box sets. We're going to get to political here. No, they're actually really nice. Yeah. Now you have to understand when it comes to the Woody Allen sets. Woody Allen is one of those guys. There'll be books because Woody Allen won't have features on his sets. He won't let people on his films. That's something Woody Allen is against. Is having features with other people talking about his films and stuff like that. So they're usually pretty much down to like maybe they get like he is, but they'll usually be the books or the booklets. But trying to separate, I guess, the art from the artist, because he did put out a lot of like his early stuff, especially. I used to read. He wrote books, right? Like the comedic books early on in his career, which I read, like I voraciously read through. I was very disappointed with like the later stuff. But like yeah, I'd say the Ring collection. If you like the Ring stuff, Vinny, really good. There's some great features on there. Great visual essay on J Horror from Jasper Sharp. Kat Ellinger like talks about the Ring series as well. The director Hito as well is talked about on there. The Ring franchise is talked about by different people. People's thoughts like that's actually really cool. If you like a regional horror, if you're a fan of regional horror, then there's the American Horror Project Volume 2. That was a set that I wanted to go back and get, but I just didn't have the bones for it, couldn't afford it. But that has some pretty cool stuff on it, including a John Hayes film. Oh, I do not know my favorite. My favorite season, I'll tell you right now, is second season Silo. I personally, if I were you, I'd go with the American Horror Project box set. And if you want to pick up the Ring ones afterwards, Coven's your favorite. Coven's my second favorite. Then pick them up separately. Like you would really don't need the box set. Save yourself £20. That's it's a bit of money. And buy the then do an order. If you're only doing one order and you're not quite sure, then go with which one you like best. If you're a really big fan of the house films, for instance, and you're getting a box set anyway, grab that one. But if you're going to grab like a couple box sets and you're thinking of getting some other stuff too, then wait on the house one, and get the American Horror Project and the Ring set. The Ring set isn't available separately. The American Horror Project isn't available separately. The house set is available separately. So you just want to make sure when it comes to that. What's cool about the house one is that some people said, well, do I really need to get all the house films? I've got the horror show, I've got the Scream Factory edition of that, but the Scream Factory edition has, I think, the theatrical cut of House 3, but there's actually 2 cuts of House 3 and features on the House 3 edition that comes from Arrow Video that isn't available on the Scream Factory edition. In fact, if I ever buy the House edition, like I don't know if I'll keep the Scream Factory edition one in my collection. That might be one that goes down the road. I'll give it to the kids or something like that. Maybe I'll start up an Amazon store. That's the way I can buy movies without feeling so guilty when I buy them. Let's just see what else is there in the box sets and stuff. Let's see if anyone will find it while I'm on here. I'll find it for you. What the heck? If I can actually get in to my stuff. So let's go to the 10th anniversary sale. Now let's go from box sets. That'll be the best way to do it. I haven't seen Apocalypse. That's the only one I haven't seen yet. So we got some sets here that are decent. Like if you're into like the more, there's a Romer set. It's £80 though, which seems a bit high to me. But if you're into Romer, that's and you can afford the bones. £80 is a lot. Yeah, actually, American Horror Story Indy is coming up with a season and a topic that's exciting to me. I'm an '80s kid. I'm super '80s. I love slasher films. American Horror Story's new season coming up is basically a slasher season, and it's set in the 1980s. I watched Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy, and do I have any movies saved on hard drives, like an iPod or something? I do basically. What I do is when I buy sometimes when I get the time, sometimes when I buy films, if my cousin's around, I'll get them to help me, like rip certain films to my hard drive so that I have a backup. If that's what you mean. I don't usually use a lot of digital codes. I usually give those away to my kids or my cousins or something like that. Usually. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. So we got the American Horror Project Volume 2. If you got Volume 1, I have those too. And basically the way it goes is like, once the movie gets a release, I buy it and then I delete it. Sons of Anarchy is basically Hamlet on motorcycles. If you like regional horror, American Horror Project, definitely a grab. Blood Hunger, love that set. I like Jose Larraz. You're getting like Vampires, Whirlpool, and The Coming of Sin, which you can look up the alternate title of, because there's a different alternate title to that film. Just gonna put that out there. House is a good one, though you can get them cheaper on their own. The Ring set is really good. The Tasho trilogy is Suzaki, and that's not bad actually. I think that was at a print at one point. I thought it was at a print anyway. I could be wrong with that one. I love De Palma, but the De Palma De Niro set actually isn't one that I was interested in that much. It's one that I would get if it's like really cheap. Outlaw Gangster VIP. Fun set. The Woody Allen sets are like, there's 3 of them there that'll get you from the 1971 right up to 1991. So if you're a fan of his work, and you don't even have to be a fan of the guy, if you're just a fan of his work, Those that's not too bad. They're at £40 each. So you buy one, you get the other one free. So you get them for £20. Hey, Kathy, how's it going? Vestron has some stuff coming out actually pretty soon, and Synapse just recently announced a new film. Can anybody remember what Synapse just recently announced? There is one, and it's killing me. I got done tip my tongue because it's one I was interested in. It's I still haven't seen Mayans yet either. I hear it's good though. If you're like the Japanese stuff, then you're gonna want to get Sister Street Fighter. If you don't have Bloodthirsty Trilogy, then you get Sister Street Fighter and Bloodthirsty Trilogy together, and you got yourself like a good kind of like Toho combination pack there. There are 4 films on the Sister Street Fighter set that runs at £25. The Bloodthirsty Trilogy, which I'm going to show you over here, it is super, super sexy. Just look how sexy this is. Look at this. See that? And I'll even show you the no, don't show Dracula. Too bad. It has a very cool looking Dracula in this one. Is one to definitely grab. I wouldn't get Last House on the Left from here because honestly, you can probably get that. Apparently, it is. You can still get that from usually from Amazon for pretty cheap. I like the Outlaw Gangster VIP set. You know, it's you gotta like that style of film. If you like those type of like the gangster ones, you know, kind of the samurai ones where they got the Yakuza blade. It's kind of like a miniature like samurai sword type of thing. Yeah, this is a really good set. Great stuff. Great, you know, Kim Newman's always interesting. Massacre Gun. Black Moon Rising is back in stock. Probably has the booklet gone out of it now. Just to let you know that one. I don't think I've seen Bloody Spearmint Fuji in years, so I can't mention that one. I am very excited, Andy, about the Scooby-Doo set. I was actually showing that to my better half today. She is a huge, huge Scooby-Doo fan, probably even bigger than me. We've got a large Scooby-Doo collection, actually, of TV shows and films. If you want like some regular stuff, Kalatiki is a fantastic one. They did a good job with their Candyman set. You know, this is gonna be this is gonna be the limited edition one. It's gonna be the regular one. Oh, did you really? That is awesome. Crimes of Passion is a Ken Russell classic, which I've been wanting for ages. Crimes of Passion I don't own, and I'm a huge fan of that film. I remember renting it in the video store back in the day. I know there was 2 cases for it. There was like a blue case, I think, and maybe a pink case, and one was the R-rated cut, and one was the unrated cut. And they'd have both of them in the store, and they'd be right next to each other. And you don't know how many times I rented like the unrated cut and accidentally got the rated cut and had to go back there, like, you know, to get it. And that one is £18. Now, do take into account that if you're getting something else, for instance, that's you know, that's £18. That really it's £9 because it's buy one get one. So $20 is still. Django the Bastard is a really good one. That's the one that's coming out from Django. That's what's coming out from them. Deadly Spawn release, as far as I know, it's still that might be taking a while. I haven't heard anything on that one recently. So let me just check something here. What was I checking on? I totally forgot what I was checking on. Oh yeah, I know. Let me go to my XC. So, for instance, let's just say Great Britain, and we'll go with £9, right? Let's go with £9. So, basically, no, in Great Britain, you son of a. You're paying $11 US if you buy 2. To get the for the for the Crimes of Passion. So if you break it, if you're grabbing that, if there's other ones that you want to grab before that, then understandable. So $18 comes out to around $22 US. So that's not that good a deal because you can buy it at Amazon for $20. However, you're buying two films, so that 18 pounds becomes 9 pounds. Are you Uber driving again, Vinny? So that 18 pounds becomes 9 pounds. And bam, that is an amazing deal. I'm talking myself into stuff right now that I can't get, or my better half would kill me. So Kathleen Turner was amazing. I had such a crush on Kathleen Turner. I think everybody did. Oh yeah, Ken Russell did Crimes of Passion. It's also one of my favorite roles for Anthony Perkins as well. I think he really did good in Crimes of Passion. After Psycho, Anthony Perkins would often get typecasted into these weird, quirky, nervous, unique type of roles. I think Ken Russell took great advantage of that in Crimes of Passion. Did such a good job. It is one of my favorite Ken Russell films. And Kathleen Turner is definitely on point. I am presently not working. I may be going because I may be going back to school. So I will know by the end of this month whether I'm going back to school or going back to work. So it's going to be one of those two. So if anyone wants to send Crimes of Passion my way, I'll definitely appreciate that one. But the company that I worked for before was, we got the American holidays off. So a lot of times, not all the time though. Do you know I honestly did not remember that he did horror. Did Ken Russell do horror? I know Teresa Russell is in horror, but did Ken Russell direct it? That I did not know. See, I'm learning something new every day. Edge of Sanity is fantastic. I really like Edge of Sanity. It is such an underrated little, Jekyll and Hyde type film. All right, so if you guys want to see a movie, a science fiction movie set in Nova Scotia, filmed in Halifax, Indy, you enjoy this. DEFCON 4 basically is set in the futuristic world of Halifax, Canada, Nova Scotia. I'm not joking. DEFCON 4 is filmed in Halifax. Well, there are so many good ones here. I mean, if you like really cheesy bad films, want to see a movie that's trying really hard to be Nightmare on Elm Street badly, well, then you can get Doom Asylum, because there's a movie that's trying really hard to be Nightmare on Elm Street in the worst possible way. Or you could pick up the other Friedman film, Trapped Alive. Also, not the greatest film, but you know what? It's a nice cover. I will say that. Trapped Alive has a great cover. Elvira has some really great features on there as well. Do you really? I do have Pazuzu or Pickup. There's two that I need from the. I haven't watched Pickup since I got it though. I really got to watch it. I haven't seen that one in ages. That's a really weird film, Vinny. It's a fun film. It's a really weird film. But everybody that have watched it, that have seen it, will say the same thing. They'll say it's really weird, but I think I like it. That's usually the response that I get. A lot of people go in looking at Pickup and thinking it's kind of like Trip with the Teacher type of thing. They're looking at it and they're thinking, oh, this looks like this looks like The Hitchhiker or a Rape Revenge. This is like a David Hess style film. It's not. Yeah, that's what most people are expecting. You look at the cover and you see that and you think, oh, this is like this, girl gets, it's going to be like this Rape Revenge type of trashy type of film. and it's just so different and so artsy and weird and unique. I'll be looking forward to those videos, Indy. By the way, when you have those. If you don't have if you haven't picked up any of the Bava stuff, they got a lot of really good Bava stuff. $5 from Nog's Moon isn't Bava's best film, but there's a great documentary on Bava on there. Horror Express. I need Horror Express. It's way more artsy than most people think. I don't know anybody that went into pickup and came out afterwards saying, you know what, that's exactly what I expected. I expected that. That's exactly what I expected from this film. Now Pazuzu Pickup reminds me. There are certain adult films, for instance. It's not like an adult film, obviously, but there's certain adult films, like I guess Behind the Green Door and stuff like that, that were really like when people go and actually see them, see like how kind of like weird and artsy and unique they are. That reminds me of that kind of style to it. Not in the sex aspect of it, but in the kind of just the unusualness to it, just the strangeness. Horror Express, great film. Island of Death. There's one for some people. I've got the original release of Island of Death, and that's the one I recommend getting. I remember Jimbo. Yes, I remember Barbara Broadcast. I did like that film actually. That hasn't been released by Vinegar Syndrome yet. I would like to see them release it though. Let's see, Blaxploitation, JD's Revenge. Madhouse was okay actually. Madhouse was better than I thought it was going to be. Great cover on it too, so I thought it was going to be a crappy movie, kind of like Trapped Alive. But actually, no, Madhouse was actually pretty good. I watched that one. Oh, I'm not sure if it's on Shudder or not. That I watched Madhouse. It was actually really, really good film. Miracle Miles, highly underrated film. If you want the old school, like kind of like film noir stuff, Den Bear is classic. My Name is Julia Ross is a really kind of cool, kind of like, it's a short, like 70 minutes or so noir film. I watched that on the Criterion channel, and they have got the Blu-ray. They got the. I went for a second there, didn't I? Did you guys notice the see on my side? It just went on a reconnecting thing. So I apologize if I seem have gone for a second. Those are extremely hot. Rotor. Oh, Rotor. Rotor is so fun. I recommend, Kathy, if you get the chance to go region free, like if you can, like for a decent price, it will change the way that you collect. You will come on here and you will search out Arrow videos and like Shameless and stuff like that, because it's really amazing. That's what I'm worried. I got two C-key players. Got one upstairs, one downstairs. If they ever go, then I'm definitely going to go 220 electronics, that type of thing. Because I got so much region stuff, which is good because when I go to Morocco, then everything is region B there. So we're just having a switch put into our house. So we just flick the switch, and put it into our condo actually, and it just changes the wattage. So we can take our region A and region B players and plug it in depending on flick the switch, the wattage. So I got to actually talk to our electricians about that. Phantasm. Yeah, the wall outlets in Morocco are the same as it would be like in London or Paris or anywhere like that. So it's running on the same wattage that you see over in the UK. But the neat thing is that where we do have like a newer condo, and we're still getting some of the renovations that are being done right now. And we're like looking on like what we want to do with with certain rooms, if we want to like widen it out. We're having some electricians come in to look at the stuff. And where I do have films that are both region A and region B, what I want to do is we're gonna install the switch, the wattage switch. That way we don't have to worry about like from one wattage to another. We just kind of make sure we remember to flick that switch before we change over. Phantom Lady. I should remember this movie, but I don't. Looks so cool. The cover's awesome. They got some neat stuff here. If you're a Steelbook fan, the Ring Steelbook actually looks really nice. I would prefer the Ring collection. I'd say go get that if you're gonna get the Ring series at all, because you really want that. You really want the cool like extra features. I We have a condo right in Marrakesh, which is definitely in more inland, and we have a house just a little bit outside of Marrakesh. Now there is a kind of a summer area that we go to, which is Essaouira, which is about like three 3 hours away, and that's more of like a no two and a half hours away. And that's like where we go usually, kind of like we go in the summertime, spend some time because that's the beach area. And basically you go there, and we'll either go to her uncle's like summer home, or sometimes if we just there's a bunch of us there, we just just rent out like the some rooms in in the surf place there, and so we can spend a lot of time on the beach. Get up in the morning, go to the seaside, go to one of the restaurants, type of thing. It's once it's a little pricey getting to Morocco, but once you get there, like the standard like of living, the cost for anything is really inexpensive. Like for renting a place, for food, for drink, super inexpensive. You'll once you get there, you actually can go far on a small amount. So that's always a good thing. Scared Stiff. If you're, it's different. Peter North's smart that way. I actually mentioned that in one of my videos before. You know that? Peter North's Canadian too. Schlock, of course, is fun. Stormy Monday is one I got last time around. Suture is one that I've been wanting. I've been wondering about. I know I've seen Suture years ago, but I don't remember it. Terraformers, not something that I'm looking to get in any time. Yeah, Scared Stiff. I think it's fun. I mean, like, Scared Stiff is different. Andrew Stevens is in it. Anything with Andrew Stevens in, I'm actually a big fan of, because I'm just a big fan of that actor. Was it really? Now, the Scared Stiff is kind of like a possession type of film. I'm pretty sure it's a possession type of film. Trying to remember. Yeah, it's a possession type of film, right? It's been a long time, so I really can't say. Like in all honesty, I can tell you that the Bloodstained Butterfly is a fantastic little giallo. That one I do recommend. The Good Son came up by Kino Lorber, so you uh, might be waiting a bit on that one. Casey Scorpion's Tail is an early, I think, Martino film. Giallos are things that I can recommend. The Fifth Chord, again, is another fantastic giallo. Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion. That one's actually pretty good if I remember correctly. If you like spaghetti westerns, The Grand Duel is a great title. Oh man, you can stack up, man, on giallo titles. Like the Fifth Chord. I'd recommend the Fifth Chord. That's a really good one. So if you're going to that, into there's the Iguana with the Tongue of Fire, which is an okay one, which is Ricardo Frida, but it is a bit tamer when it comes to that. But you still definitely worth getting. It wouldn't be one of the first I grab. It's got a great title though. There's a Pajama Girl Case, and it's been too long since I've seen that one to honestly tell you what I think of it. Suspicious Death of a Minor is a good one. That's Martino as well. Martino's really good. Torso, stuff like that. Those are kind of the go-tos, the givens. I haven't seen the TV series, but I do have the movie. I did like the movie, and I do have the steelbook of that one. If you want to get some like quirky stuff, there's always like the Nico, if you like Nico Mastriakis, there's a few like Nico Mastriakis films on here as well. Like Zero Buys was one of those 80s kind of cheesy films that I liked a lot. Has the girl Kelly Maroney from Night of the Comet in it. Yep, the Sister Street Fighter box set is 25 pounds. And there is no standalone disc for Sister Street Fighter. I'm not sure if the slip is still there or not, but this Sister Street Fighter is a collection. So it's a Sister Street Fighter collection, and it's 4 films, and I think that's 2 discs. Like they're done like 4 films done on 2 discs, if I'm got that correct. As for like the Good Son, if you live in North America, the Good Son is available on Kino Lorber. You get a box set of Bava. Anchor Bay back in the day, Kathy did some really good Bava box sets. Or I recommend making your own box set and grabbing some of these here Bava ones. Like some are on for like 15 pounds. So like for around like 30 pounds, you could grab yourself 4 Bava editions. And I don't have them here. I apologize for not having them here right now. But the Bava editions that Arrow does are the best Bava editions that are available. If I was going to buy the Kino Lorber Bavas so many times, and I held off, and I didn't know why I was holding off because I was a huge Bava fan. But I picked up one of the Arrow ones, and the Arrow ones are amazing because they're usually 2 to 3 discs each for them. There's a ton of features on all the Bava sets, and what's really cool about it is when a lot of them were brought over to North America, they recut the films, they put in different soundtracks, an AIP soundtrack, and some people have like a large kind of like they get like the warm fuzzies for that new like redubbed soundtrack, and I mean like it's completely different music, completely different like soundtrack on it as well. So when you buy a Bava from Arrow Video, you're getting all of it, right? You're gonna get the AIP like North American version of the film. You're gonna get the original Italian cut of the film. You're gonna get like the maximum amount of features. You're gonna get yourself some Tim Lucas commentaries on there. Some some of them you're gonna get like Bava features. I think I think it was $5 on Og's Moon even had like a documentary on Bava. I'll do a top directors one. That's actually good for an actual video. I'm going to say that one for video. So there's so much goodness when it comes to Miro Bava, and Arrow is the way to go when it comes to their to Bava. That's who you want to go with. The only one edition Bava I can think of was probably Bay of Blood, and even that had some great features on it. But I would. And as I have all the Bavas, if they did like the deluxe box sets of Bavas the way they do with Argento, I'd grab those in a second because they just do such good stuff. So there's my hard sell on the Bavas, guys, if you're interested in those. To Live and Die in LA, still one of my favorite movies. Trapped Alive, buy it for the cover, I guess. What Have You Done to Solange, Vinny? If you don't have that one, yeah, that's a definite buy when it comes to Giallo stuff. If you don't own White of the Eye and you have not picked up, it is. Yeah. You have not picked it up, the Arrow edition is the only way to go with White of the Eye. Bypass the Scream Factory White of the Eye. Make sure you get the Arrow edition of that film. It's a fantastic film, but the documentary on there is one of my most watched documentaries. See, there you go. I got one for you. White of the Eye. It has an amazing 2-hour documentary, Vinny, on the director and his story. He lived a short period of time, but his story is fascinating. And trust me, as much as you'll watch White of the Eye, you will watch the documentary even more. It is really that good. I told you I can sell you on this stuff. These guys, they need to hire me. They need to hire me. They need to take clippets of these videos and put them on the beginning, where kind of like Mondo does with their trailer reel. I will sell people on stuff. This here, by the way, Kathy, I'm seeing if I can bring it up to show you. This Hopefully you can see this. This is Bay of Blood. I hate when this happens. So this is Bay of Blood, otherwise, known as Bloodbath. You really can't see the can you? I do apologize. Feature-wise, it has both the English transfer of the film, brand new transfer of the film. It has the alternate Italian cut of the film, audio commentary with Tim Lucas, Argento Bava Fulci, the Giallo Gems of Giordano Sacchi. He's the writer that wrote out for all those directors. Joe Dante on Mario Bava. Shooting a spaghetti splatter classic. Cameraman, I'm going to butcher the name, Gian Lorenzo Battaglia on Bay of Blood. Bay of Blood trailers. Twitch of the Death Nerd radio spots, and reversible cover with Rick Melton doing the reversible cover artwork. So you're going to get a lot of features when it comes to the Bay of Blood edition from Arrow. And just to find out, let's find out for you. Let's see. I think this one is going to definitely be Region B. Yeah, that one's definitely going to be Region B because that was put out by Kino Lorber in North America, I think. But I would hold off and get the Region B edition. It's a better edition to get. Battle Royales, always a good one. And I would totally do that. I would have fun with that. I almost bought a theater once, actually. I did not get the funding at the last minute, but I tried. Black Sabbath, Black Sunday, again, kind of Bava classics. Blade the Mortal has a really nice steelbook if you like that one. Wait, I kind of remember White Dog, actually. The good thing about is a lot of them is that they'll have a DVD with them. So if you're waiting a while on getting the region free Blu-ray, you can usually hack your most DVD players to play region. That's a Samuel Fuller film, actually, White Dog. I think, right? That's Samuel Fuller. If it's the one I'm thinking of, Samuel Fuller. Blood and Black Lace, the best edition is still Arrow's edition of it. See, Contamination's right there for 15 pounds. That's actually really good. Coffee is my favorite Pam Grier film, which for some reason I mistook with Foxy Brown the last time I did a video. But Coffee is my favorite Pam Grier film, and that is available here as well. So if you're like blaxploitation, you want to see Pam Grier looking at her absolutely stunningly best in one of her best action films, that would be Coffee. Again, Day of Anger is a really fun one. They have the Deep Red here and the Death Walks at Midnight. Death Walks on a Heels film. Double Face sells itself like it's going to be a Giallo, but in my opinion, I think Double Face comes off much more closer to a Crimi than a Giallo, and that can run a bit slower, and some people are going to be disappointed in it if they go in thinking they're going to get the usual type of kind of like the sleaze fest Giallo, and they wouldn't be wrong for thinking it because it does come across like that. And it does have Klaus Kinski in it, but it's a very subdued role for Klaus Kinski as opposed to what you would normally see him like later on in his career. Frankenhooker, I just like the film a lot. If you don't have it, Future Shock, the story of 2000 AD, great documentary if you're a comic book fan. You can't pass it up. They even got one extra feature on the Arrow edition that's not on my edition, which I got from the Severance sale around a year or so ago. If you're a fan of the sexploitation genre, then you can pick up some Tinto Brass, and I do like Tinto Brass. Frivolous Lola, not one of my favorites. Cheeky is my favorite, and all ladies do it. There you go. They have Hellgate, which is a kind of an odd little horror film that has Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter playing the hero and sex symbol to ladies. I'm not joking, that's the thing. In Hellgate. It's an odd little film, but it's a fun little one. I actually do like it. I would consider that one more of a regional than anything else. I actually watched a Curtis Hanson film called Evil Town. Moral Tales is fantastic. I really love Moral Tales, actually. Henry George Clouseau's Inferno is one I've been wanting to get for a long time. I don't have that one as of yet. The House collection I really want. I would buy them, just buy the Blu-rays of them. House 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are strong, recommendations if you're into those type of films. They have some great like making of. So there's an hour-long making of on the first House film, by the way. One of the best features is having both versions of House 3 on part 3. One of the best releases that the young it's been a long time since I've seen the Young Lady Chatterley series, but I think I liked it when I watched it. That style of film actually is in my, as Austin Power would say, is my bag. So yeah, I would enjoy that. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. If you don't own the Arrow video edition of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, it's really freaking good. It is the ultimate Invasion of the Body Snatchers edition out there. No, for me, no other company will ever touch that edition. It's just so well done, and there's like round table discussions and everything. It's just so good. King New York. I'm a fan of Abel Ferrara, and I like Christopher Walken, so King New York is a super cool one for me. Lisa and the Devil is still a Bava one that I don't have, and I should, because that's they actually have two versions of the film. They're really cool, kind of fun stuff. Madman, if you don't own it already, there's Madman, and everybody loves Madman Mars. Trying to go. Phantom of the Paradise, still the best edition of Phantom of the Paradise. Arrow Video. Psycho 2, again, Psycho 2 got a better edition from Arrow than they did from Scream Factory. I'm not quite sure what Raising Cane's edition is like as compared to the Scream Factory one. I'm guessing it's going to be just as good. And then you got like some kind of like stuff like Ronin, which I was really surprised that they put out, but pleasantly surprised. Scalpel is a great Southern Gothic, which I mentioned earlier on, Vinny, which I do recommend like strongly if you like the kind of like the Southern Gothic style. It's so weird that it's from the same guy that did Blood Rage. I got the Scream Factory edition of Raising Cane, Andy. That's the one that I got. So I wouldn't buy like I wouldn't be able to like rebuy it if you don't have it. Check them both out. Arrow usually gets the better edition, but sometimes it would be just the same. And of course, there's the classic stuff. Shivers, definitely cool stuff. Slugs is a fun movie. Tenebrae, I'm guessing everybody's got Tenebrae. If you don't have Tenebrae, you got to get Tenebrae. The Apartment, again, is a fantastic... I know Vinny has The Apartment, though. But again, fantastic film. And they have some classic stuff like the Blue Dahlia and the Glass Key. Classic stuff with like, kind of Dashiell Hammett style stuff. There's some Marx Brothers stuff. I don't know how the Marx Brothers is. I don't have those. If anybody has those, they can definitely let me know. If you're watching this like after the fact, let me know in the things down below. And especially let me know if the edition of Waterworld that's released right now, the new one, is released with a slip at all or type of thing, because it does look in the picture like it has some type of slip on there. If you like the actiony stuff, then The Exterminator is a lot of fun. It is a super fun film. Whew, I'm getting through these as best as I can here. Happiness of the Katacaris, that is a really unique. I do like Rolling Stones. I grew up the Stones and Beatles. I wasn't like one or the other. I really do. I like both of them for very different reasons. Classic Killers ones, again, really great stuff. Long Good Friday, cannot recommend that one strong enough. The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave, if you don't have that one, that's really good. And The Red Queen Killed 7 Times, too, if that's here. Yes, they can. Yes, they are. They lost a lot of money on Waterworld, and they spent over $200 million like making Waterworld. It was very much by the end of it. I love Waterworld. It became a vanity project for Kevin Costner. He took the film. He got rights on. He got last cut when it comes to the editing, stuff like that. Oh, there you go, guys. If you're interested in the Criterion sale, 50% off. Looks like it's starting Friday the 28th. Red Queen. Kathy, you have good taste. Red Queen's an excellent, excellent Jello. Sweet Smell of Success was put out by Criterion. If you don't have it, you can get it a little bit cheaper here, unless you want to wait for the Criterion sale. I have the Criterion edition, but either way, it is a great film to own. It is one of the best films writing-wise for dialogue. If you're into film and filmmaking, or if you're just into film writing, or you're just into good dialogue, Sweet Smell of Success is one of those movies that has to be in your collection. It's just such a great film, and it's so dialogue heavy and driven without being without like plotting down or being pacing or boring or slow. It actually just it shows you dialogue done really well. The Witches is one I haven't seen in a long, long time, and if I remember correctly, it's kind of an anthology film. Uh, that was like high on the list of ones that I had to get. Videodrome. I love Videodrome. Withnail and I. Oh, really? No, I think you're thinking of Daytona, of the other witches. You're thinking of the one that was done in the 80s. That's one that starred Angelica Houston. That's based on the Roald, I think it's Roald Dahl book, where basically the kid like goes sees the coven of witches and turns to a mouse, and it's like I remember the film. So that one's being remade now, but something happened. I think somebody got hurt or something like that, so it got put on hold a bit. So that one is getting remade. But this Witches here is kind of like an earlier film that is done. That was done. It's kind of a it was an anthology where basically like kind of like the stories. The only thing really connected each of the stories was that it had somehow to do with witchcraft. I think I'm getting down here on the ones. Heathers. Who wouldn't want Heathers? Uh, if you like Michael Caine, what a horrible Michael Caine impression that was. Then Pulp is a fun little film. And whoa, guys, at 141 minutes, one of my longest videos in a long time, my voice is going. I apologize. But thank you so much tonight for joining me here to look at the Arrow limited editions and go deep diving to the Arrow sale. Unfortunately, every time I do this, it makes me want to buy stuff, and then I have to like pull myself away and say I can't buy stuff. Uh, it is just so much stuff. Time, yeah, exactly. Time for tea and water for the Bruno and the Scaredy and the Hubert. Thank you all so much for watching. Vinny, maybe hopefully I made you know just buy a little bit more. Andy, have a great day there. We'll see you back here in hopefully safe and sound, and here in Canada really soon. Greta Garbo and Audrey Hepburn. I'll leave that for another video because I'm not quite sure. Thank you for watching. I am Aaron. You are the Movie Club. As always, you make this awesome, and have a great evening.